Now check this out. Now in the beginning, of course, you know they touch on everything on Unsung in the beginning, the early times, right? Now, when you all were forming this group, did you have any notion that you were going to be as big as you guys were?
Absolutely.
And are.
Absolutely.
You knew that
from day one.
Off the rip.
Off the rip. I told my grandparents that my grandparents wanted me, God rest his soul, man. They wanted me to go to Johns Hopkins. My grandfather was one of the first blacks to graduate from there. We used to go in the spring and summer to the Hopkins Club and sit out on the, whatever. And I called him up one day, asked him to come over, and I said, I'm going to be famous. And my grandfather looked at me and said, famous is not a career.
Yeah. Famous don't pay the bills, right?
And my grandmother had tears in her eyes, and I was like, nah, man, I'm going to be famous. And I always remember, the first autograph signing we had up Mount Diamond. They had us downstairs, right by the escalators and all that shit. And when we finally walked out, one of the guys doing security was like, "Man, your grandmother out here, she been here since early, and she made
your
sure."
Grandmother?
We made sure when she got here, she let everybody know that's my grandson. And so when we sat down, it was like my grandmother was like the first person in line.
Right.
And had her CD and bought every CD, pretty much up until she got too sick to, whatever, and had every magazine article or whatever. So that just let me know. I mean, I guess it kind of messed me up a little bit because it made me spend my whole career just proving people wrong for real and having that as a goal a lot of times. But I think what it taught me more than that, man, is sometimes you just know. And sometimes you can't listen to nobody because everybody gonna tell you the right shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna tell you the motherfucking kumbaya or whatever if you sit down, and maybe you'll learn to levitate later on. But it'd be that's a long ass road that I don't want to do. I know it's some shit that I'm gonna do that's gonna take my whole life to do, but I don't want everything be my whole life walking around like the nigga on Kung Fu trying to fucking figure out shit all the time.
Right.
I want to actually have some action. So going back to the parent thing, it was coming into business because I didn't, when you don't learn that natural inherent respect thing, I didn't really have that respect for shit that most people would, but only because they worry about what the fuck somebody gonna do to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was hard in the beginning because I'm fresh off North Avenue. Mm-hmm. And I'm wanting to cuss people out and shit, and it's no, you can't do that.
The whole Baltimore vibe. You already know how you give it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, when the group first started, of course, they touch on you, Cisco, Jazz, and Woody. Were there ever any other members before you got?
It's when we first started, wasn't nobody that's there now. But Woody. You know what I'm saying? It was, because the thing was, I had some people that I was going to work on some stuff with by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. When my man Bravette asked me to go see Woody and them, I was like, all right, cool. Well, if they could sing, maybe I could hook them up with the same people.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up going, me and Bravette, we both ended up singing. Bravette, one of my real good friends, was in the group for a long time. We just ended up standing, and it was 7 motherfuckers. And then from day one, I just started kicking people out.
They were singing.
I just thought, it was I just went into it and just took over and just started kicking people out, and it would be I would.
You could have really
in my
fucked
mind,
people's lives up, though.
I
want you to think about it. Really think
I
about it.
kicked my best friend out the group and sang End of the Road on the motherfucking phone while I was playing the piano before I told the nigga he couldn't be in the group no more.
Some petty shit. Think about it. I want y'all.
Nigga, this when we knew what petty was. Nigga,
let's go back to 1996. Tell me, drop 1996, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now imagine all of us in the room, right? We was in the group, you know what I mean? And he kicked us out, and you see the video pop up, and you looking like, yo, my life is over. You gotta be feeling. Yo, I'm sorry. Gotta be. If you kicked me out and I seen that Tell Me video in 1996,
no man,
I might have been. yo, put the string around my arm. Let me main vein it.
But you gotta
do this to me.
But you gotta understand the mentality, man. Like
they would give
everybody just wanted to sing. Everybody just wanted to sing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my thing was when I came in, I'm like, we gonna be famous, nigga. So it's like I'm looking at a nigga like, nigga, you don't want to do this for real. You just want to do this for the girl. So it's gonna be a certain point where you might make a decision at the wrong fucking time. Fuck this shit up. So I'm gonna let you go now.
Yeah.
Nigga, you can't sing for real, but you my nigga. But this shit starting to get serious. So, nigga, you got to go.
Damn, that would have been Conway. Conway had to get out.
And like,
he had to get out.
So you was really cutting throats like that?
Man, I was known as a shrewd businessman. Because the first thing that came out my mouth was boys is boys and business is business. And if we can't do the business first, we're going to have a hard time being boys.
That's fact.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like a lot of times, I mean, like, people will call you cold, whatever it is. Like, motherfuckers, if you had a job, they be doing the same thing. And the only reason why you saying that dumb shit to me is because you know me.
Yeah.
And I be having to tell, and I tell people something like, especially, you know, like, in all kinds, it's like, you know, you still gotta kind of remember, even though and you know me, I ain't no superstar motherfucker. I'll be looking at niggas like, I want to smack the shit out of the motherfucker, but that's a whole other day. But
we gonna get into who need to be smacked. I'm gonna let Conway deal with that in a minute.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, the fuck is wrong with you, yo? Like, I don't act like that, so what the fuck is you doing, man? Mm-hmm. And I go through that a lot with, like, young motherfuckers. They're like, yo, I mean, like, young motherfuckers and your friends sometimes, like, you have to be like, yo, you do know I sold, like, 50 million records and shit, right? So, like, if we doing some shit that, like, you do within whatever I had to do to sell that, like, it'd be, like, a low point where, like, you kind of got to treat me like that and, like, not the niggas that's, like, booking time on your site.
Right.
That never sold it.
Like, it's like, you got to kind of, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, we might do it for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ain't never did it for money, even when I started making money. And half the time, I don't even want to see money because money and creativity don't go together and shit. You know what I'm saying? You use that for that shit over there. You start mixing that shit up.
A lot of creatives say that same thing. You got to be creative.
You can hear a hit on the cassette.
Yo, no, I give you a better one. I tell a motherfucker, I went to do...
It sound the same?
A motherfucker, no, what is it? A motherfucker said to me, I need you to make me a record that's going to get 50 million in the audience. I'm like, can you tell me exactly what key that song is in, sir?
Yeah.
Right.
He couldn't tell you shit.
Right. Because it don't fucking exist.
Right.
No,
it doesn't.
Y'all making up a bunch of shit. The shit happens or not. It start with natural human emotion. I got an emotion I want to get out. It ain't for you. I'm going to put it on the fucking record and I hope you feel that way. And I hope a bunch of motherfuckers feel that way because other than that, I can't predict a fucking fuck. Even with the bag of money. It's a certain point that I can't get past. Because, let's take it in the 90s. I take the bag of money. I get, that bag of money gets me the call-out research because they can't put my record in rotation the first week, even though I'm going to get most added because I got to get rid of 3 records. So that bag of money going to give me the call-out research. You get the call-out research and them motherfuckers don't like that record, that bag of money ain't doing shit.
Right.
So you still got to have the fucking record.
Right.
And all the rest of this dumbass shit.
You get a touch or something?
And you got to have the bag of money.
Yeah.
It's the business.
I'll share one thing about a record. People don't really understand. Tony Terry had a record, When I'm With You.
Right.
I hear it at every wedding.
Right.
For the last damn near 30 years.
Right.
Let me tell you something. His record came out before Michaels came out, before Luther's came out, before Babyface came out, before Eric Gables came out, and the record had taken off. Now, Babyface, Luther, and Michael got a lot of money behind them.
Right, they got that engine.
And when they went to the program directors, they're like, for Sony, for Epic, we got 3 slots. And they said, Here's our priorities. Michael Jackson, he put people through college. Babyface, he babyface. Luther, and they looked and they said, this Tony Terry record is working for us, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's in. Y'all figure out who's going to get the next slot.
Right.
Now, guess what? It wasn't no more bag of money for Tony Terry, but guess what? He already had the audience.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got, that's what I'm saying. Like, you take that bag of money to get in. But you still got to have some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You still got to have something that somebody hear. Even if they figure, all right, cool. Well, it's going to take us 8 weeks to get this record up running. And then we can get it in 10 to 2. Because they first want your shit to go in. After you do in the middle of the night, they need your shit to go in when everybody at work.
Right.
Playing, so you go in the midday first.
Right.
You don't go in the motherfucking 3 to 6 until you hot as a bitch.
Right.
And you might not never get on the morning show.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I don't give a fuck how much. You might not never get played in the morning. But you're going to get played at 10 o'clock, so you be all right.
You know what's a perfect example of that? You remember when Tell Me was hitting, right? Was hitting. At the time that Tell Me was hitting, A&M
bugging.
went out of business.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a group signed to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and their record was on fire, and they went out of business. I'm talking about that Mint record. Everywhere we went, every radio we turned on, it was Mint and then Dru Hill. It was like that for how long? For 2 years? The record is playing for 2 years. Ain't nobody paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a record.
Mm-hmm.